phase.
Third Phase Moon, Blake Cousins here. Merry Christmas, everybody. We're doing it live right now. We don't take days off. You know, the UFO phenomenon happens 24/7 around the world, and that's what's important right here at Third Phase Moon Radio. We're taking your calls live from around the world. We got Brett Cousins here. He's going to be asking questions. He's joining in tonight. Hey, Brett, thanks for joining us on this Christmas day.
Hey Blake, thanks for having me. You know, it's going to be quite exciting. I have a feeling this episode is going to be something else. You know, it's 5 days left till the new year. You know, Blake, I think we should do the best of the year, you know, wrap up what we think, in our best opinion, are the best captures of 2015.
You know, I think that's a good idea. We'll do that. We're going to get the word out, what we think is, like Brent said, the best captures of 2015, because, boy, it was an amazing year. I gotta say, this past December was, this past month, wow, that almost topped it all. There's some amazing videos coming in. Everybody go check it out on Third Phase Moon. We're gonna get to callers right now. Let's get to it. 479, you there?
Yes, I am.
Hey,
hello.
Thanks for calling into Third Phase. What's your name?
My name is Ginger, and I'd like to wish all of you a very Merry Christmas.
Wow, same to you, Ginger. Thank you.
I have a story to tell you that the only people I've told throughout the years is close friends of my family. Many years ago, me and my friend were driving home. It was around, I'd say, 2 o'clock in the morning. We were coming down the paved road. It was a 2-lane road. I had my lights on bright. All of a sudden, I don't even know how to describe it. I'm going to do the best I can. This thing had climbed up out of a ditch. The ditch was in front of a home. I'm assuming whatever this thing was, I don't know, it was in their backyard. My lights was on bright. When it stood up, it had to be over 7 foot, that thing had to be over 7 foot. It was the best way to describe whatever this was. I compare it to a sealskin or a diver suit. It was completely black. It was tall. It had arms, naturally it had legs. When it turned to look at us, I couldn't stop driving. I froze. My friend that was in the passenger side, she froze. I couldn't even take my foot off the gas. I just kept going towards it. So when it stood up out of the ditch, it got on the edge of the lane, which would be the left lane. I was driving in the right. When it turned to look at us, you take 2 pairs, you turn them sideways. That was the eyes, and it glowed just bright red like fire. Well, I'm continuing to go to it because I can't take my foot off the gas. I just have to keep driving. When I got up to this thing, bent its arms back, crouched down, low to the ground, took one leap, and went right in front of my car. Right in front of my car. When it landed on the outside of the second lane, which was the lane I was driving in one stride. Now, when it landed, when it hit the ground, it crouched down. I'm assuming because of the weight of it, I don't know. But it bent back down, it was crouched again, and it stood up and just gave us one final look and just gone into the darkness. And that's what happened.
Ooh, whoa. Wow. I like scary stories on Christmas. I really like scary stories on Christmas and scary movies for some odd reason. But, wow, that was kind of scary.
Well, I like scared. God, saying it mildly. I don't know what it was. It was very tall. It had no hair. It had zero hair. I mean, I'm sorry.
No hair, no clothes of any kind, right?
No. This I compare it to what a wet skin. It's shiny like a seal skin, or a diver suit. It was glossy black.
Almost like a seal. Yeah,
I'm sorry.
I got almost like a seal that you would see
yes,
in the water.
Skin.
The Arctic. Yeah, the seal skin. Here, Brent's got a question for you.
Yes.
Very interesting, Ginger. Great story. I really believe what you're saying. Just the accounts and the way you're saying it's coming across really legitimate. You say the eyes were the size of pears, and they glowed
you take
red.
your pears. Yeah, you turn them sideways, and they glowed. Well, the only way to describe it is red as fire. They glowed. It was just cool.
Did it have a luminescence to it? Did it actually highlight a luminance of light around its eyes, or was it an iridescent, like how you see a dog in the dark and where it hits their eyes and it'll show their iridescence?
No. It wasn't like if you've seen an animal in the dark or you put headlights on it or if you took a flashlight. No. This just literally glowed red as fire. Now, I could not see a mouth. There was no way to see a mouth, naturally. It was just the eyes that was just very glowing, very, very glowing.
Were you by yourself at the time?
No. I had my friend with me. Me and her was coming home.
So you and your friend got the thriller night of your time, basically. And what's your friend?
The windows was down. Oh, my Lord. What she done, she's not with me, no. But what she done was once the thing had jumped, which landed, by the way, on her side. Remember, we're driving down the right side of the road. The object was standing on the left side of the road. So when it sprung across the two lanes in one stride, it landed by her side. It was summertime. Our windows was down. It was really warm. I'm in Arkansas. Really hot night. Well, once it happened, and naturally I kept going because I never could hit the brake. She just started screaming. She started pounding the dashboard of the car, and that's when it hit her. Well, it hit us both. She was screaming, "What is that? What is that?" And I just said, "I don't know what that is. I don't know. I don't know what it was." But it was there.
Would you maybe consider because those eyes, the glowing red eyes now, and then this like ghillie suit, like a suit, and it's standing upright. It wasn't like angled in any way, was it? Or was it?
No.
Huh.
Straight as a man.
How fast did it take off?
Well, no, it didn't take off. It crouched down. Take your arms, bend them back, bend your knees down to the ground. It crouched. It had its arms pulled back. What it done was, when it drew its arms back and it literally with one stride flew, it didn't flow, flew, it jumped across a double-lane road and landed on her side of the road. See, we have a two-lane roads here.
Yeah.
When it jumped with one stride, and it landed on the opposite side of the road, which would be her side, the passenger side.
Yep.
And then when it landed, it landed hard, because when it landed, its legs bent down, and then it just stood straight up and turned and looked at us one last time, and it just went into the dark. It was just gone.
Wow, we got about 45 seconds left on the show, but we're going to go extended time for everybody that's here on the call line right now. If anybody's got any questions for you, I've got some more questions, but man, we're going to go extended on this because spooky stuff here. Let me, I'm just trying to figure out how I should describe this, your encounter. What would you say? Some people are saying a dog man, or
No.
Okay.
No.
I want to have you describe this, because you saw it. What would you compare it to? Anything like that?
A very, very tall, slender, I don't know if it was man or woman, naturally, very tall being with a head that was oblong shaped, with sideways, like I said, turn your pair sideways. They narrowed in at the corner and came out wider on the outside of the eye, and it glowed. Not like an animal with headlights. Its eyes glowed red. No hair, because, see, my headlights was on bright. I had a few, the thing jumped right in front of me. It was, oh, boy.
When you're bringing up these glowing eyes and stuff, I'm thinking more maybe some kind of mutated nuclear genetic experiment gone bad, or is this alien? I'm not sure.
Well, I'm going to tell you this. I'm soon going to be 53 years old, okay? This is a memory that will never leave me because it's imprinted in my mind naturally. This thing, whatever this thing was, is not from here. It's not from our Earth, where we call Earth, where we live right now. No. You take a thing, I'm going to call it a thing, okay, that could take one stride and land across a 2-lane road. It was it's mind-boggling. Because when you never see anything like that, it's hard for anybody to understand what you've seen. I don't care how many times you may tell a person, there's always doubt. Well, did that really happen? Well, the only thing I can say is God is my witness. That happened. And it could have hurt us. Yes, the thing could have hurt us, obviously. The windows was down. It could have jumped on my car. I don't know, it could have pulled a car door open. But I believe in my soul, that it was God that protected me and her that night. Because it could have had us. There was nothing that would stopped it from taking and opening up that door or jumping on top of the hood of my car or on top of my car.
So you didn't think it was out for blood? Like, this thing's going to attack me because it wants to eat me. Were you thinking that? The wild animal? This is what I was thinking. This is truly what I was thinking. It was in those people's yard. It had to come from their yard. And my mind went directly to the people that lived in that home that were asleep. It was after 2 a.m. And my thoughts was, dear God, it had to come naturally it was in those people's yard. And those people were asleep, and they had no idea what was outside their backyard. That's what my thought was those people. You're looking out for the safety of the neighborhood, like, oh, my God, there's this wild thing out here jumping around like a Jedi. But it doesn't seem like it. On the dark side, I might say, that with these glowing red eyes, like, hey, I might want to wake up the neighborhood like something's going on. Did you think about calling the police or notifying anybody?
I thought about it. Okay, I thought seriously about it. But I also realized that if I'd done that they wouldn't believe me. They would not believe me. I even told her. I said, Cindy, I need to go tell those people that there was something in their backyard. But then it hit me. I can't do that. Because these people are not going to believe what I just saw. I couldn't believe what I just saw. How could I expect them to believe it? And I didn't want them to think naturally, there was something wrong with me. But I thought about the people because it was a summer night and my windows was down. And the only thing I thought was, I pray to God the house windows was up and they didn't have their windows raised with the screens because it had to come out of their backyard. There was nowhere else that thing came from until it climbed up out of that ditch and stood beside the road. It was in their backyard.
What's kind of weird is that it was on the side of the road. And that's
yes.
What was it doing on the side of the road? Did it?
Okay.
Was it waiting for something?
I think it had come out of their backyard. See, it come up out of a ditch. There was a chain link fence, and there was their backyard. This is an area in town, you know, that people, there's many houses there along that road. It had to come out of their backyard, and the only thing I could think of was it was going to cross the road, go back across the road, which it did in one stride in front of my car. It had to come out of their backyard because the ditch, there was a chain link fence, and it stood up out of that ditch. But when it stood up, it was looking across the road because it turned its head to the right to look at me, an oncoming car. When it came up out of that ditch, it turned to the right, which would be looking at me because I was coming on the outside lane, which would be the right-hand side of the lane. It was on the left-hand side, which the house was right behind it. I'm sorry.
Let me ask you this question. I want to get to, I think I'll have time for one last caller. We'll see. But my question is that there's freaks out there that are experimenting, and unfortunately, they're scary people. Do you think this could have been some kind of, who knows, maybe nightmare scenario where somebody has this kind of freak show in their basement and this thing escaped and it came from this yard?
Okay, this is how I feel. This is my personal belief. I go by my Bible. For many years, I kept thinking, okay, I know they're there. I mean, there's too many sightings. For many years, I searched for this. And then I started kind of putting it together. What I believe, personally, my opinion, I believe this was a demon. And the reason I have this belief is the belief I have from my Bible. That's the conclusion I personally can say that I have come to. That's what I believe the thing was. And that's the reason I don't think it would hurt me. Obviously, it could have had me. It could have had her. Nothing stopped it. Not one thing could have stopped that thing from getting on my car. Like I said, it could have jumped on my hood. It could have kicked the window out. It could have threw my door open because I wasn't going really fast, but I couldn't take my foot off of the gas to hit the brake because it scared me to death. I was froze in time at that second, and she was too. She never opened up her mouth. Neither one of us said one word until the point that thing had leaped across the side of the road, which ended on Cindy's side. It gave one final look, and then it just disappeared into the darkness. That's my opinion on what this thing is, because it's not from here. It's not from here. It's very tall, though, very slender. I mean, arms, legs. Like I said, I couldn't tell you if this thing had a mouth. Eesh. The only thing you could see was the body, the head, and those glowing fire eyes.
Yikes. Now I'm getting scared. A lady in the close encounter with a possible demon. Ginger shares her story right here at Third Phase of Moon. That's, man, Christmas night. After all the presents are open, we got that story to go to bed tonight. You know what? We're going to get one last caller in, like I said, and quite amazing. If you see anything like that on the side of the road and you're in a neighborhood, notify the people. Notify them. Say there's something going down because you still never know. You don't know. You just don't know. 402. Sorry for well, welcome to the show. Merry Christmas. You're there live.
Hi, Blake. Merry Christmas. Just a couple things.
Yep.
My mom actually, before I was born, saw a beam of light coming down in the back patio. Right outside, she opened the door and she saw this light coming down. I don't know if anything happened after that. She didn't really know. But shortly before she died, she saw 2 aliens in our house. It just kind of appeared in front of her. One was a gray, and the other one was that, she said it looked like a bug, tall, skinny, green. And I guess people have said that's that mantis. But she could also control the rain. My mom could. And I heard that lady talking about the weather. But, she she had a lot of gifts, but she didn't use them, she didn't practice anything or try to do anything, but she's also Catholic. But I never associated that with the alien, but I believe like the last caller. From what she described, it sounds like that Mothman that they talk about, It's been described as tall, black, red eyes.
Yeah, but the Mothman has like feathers. I know about the red eyes, but the way she described that skin, now that sounds a little. Ugh.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So,
I'm kind of the belief that they're all demons.
Really?
I think the veil is thinner or something. I don't know. I don't understand. I heard you talking about trusting and being open. If they are that far advanced than we are, at least if they're the aliens, and they can take time and people don't know where they've been, then good experiences and stuff, that could all be mind control. And I just don't buy it. I don't think anybody should be, open arms to people that would hurt us the way they have. The people that do not have mind control and remember being tortured and experimented on and taken away from their home. I don't know. I just don't think, how could anybody think that they were good if that's what they're doing to us against our will?
That's what I think. I think power of the mind and fighting for your rights is an amazing thing, and that's our power. That's the gift of life. Right. So, I have a few words I want to say before the show goes out, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down the line real quick on the phone lines to give everybody, this is Christmas, right? So I'm going to give everybody 30 seconds to say whatever they want on Third Phase of Moon. And we're going to get to it right now. 402. Finish up. You got 30 seconds. Go ahead.
I wonder, Blake, if you've ever heard or if you've ever thought about the fact that could it be that this is a conspiracy, that government is just letting us see things? Is there any chance that could be happening?
Well, that is the question that we're going to find out in the year 2016, and I think she pretty much answered her own question right there. Yes, it is. 619. Kelly, go ahead.
I just want to tell everybody enjoy your holidays, and also, with that whole thing, there's, I believe, a lot of different stuff as well. You know what I mean? But it is with the mind. The mind can control. We are powerful beings ourselves, but we've just been trying to be dumbed down. With all the stuff that I believe that's within the government as well. But that's a whole different long story we can do one time. But I don't know. The beings that are here, there's a lot of, you could even say dimensions, Maybe dimensions come close to each other where, you see different stuff from that other dimension that we're, like it's manifesting itself in here. Like some of that videos you had where that lady was underwater with that creature that with a beak, that was pretty crazy. And then, you see these videos now of like aliens. It looks like a being of light. You can see arms and legs, a head. floating in the sky. All this stuff it all could be, mixing in with each other, where, as this planet is phasing through into its next change, That was the big awakening there. Anyway, I just wanted to, it's all about love and hope. So don't ever give up.
Don't ever give up. Love and hope, man. That's exactly right. Merry Christmas. Kelly, I don't know if we're going to be able to extend this, but I'm going to try. 660. We got a few seconds. Go ahead. Any last words?
Yeah, just have a very Merry Christmas. And that's the most important thing is love. The second most important thing is to judge no one. So, yeah, very Merry Christmas on that note.
Thank you so much. Merry Christmas to you as well. 702 Chalice, Merry Christmas. Thank you so much.
Merry Christmas. I totally understand what she went through. I totally, because I went through that, where there's a fraction, it is, and they're bad, and there is. Just like in Star Wars, there's bad and there's good. We choose the good. We can control our own destiny. We have to slowly take that, but they hurt a lot of people. They did, and they're not going to get by with it anymore. We're going to stand up and we're going to tell them. Each one of us have this light, and we know it, and that religion comes from that light. All you got to do is feel it. When she was afraid, her friend started screaming right away. That showed right there that she was fear. Instantly, it reacted to her. If it was going to kill her, it would have. See, when I had mind talks with J-Rod, I never knew his eyes were red until later. So I had an unbiased ideal of what he really was, and all I knew was he's really kind. And this is where we're judgment. Our minds are closed. If they're dressed like this, but let's say you're in Star Wars and that big furry dude that's really funny, I can't remember his name, comes up and he's like trying to talk to you, and you're like, oh, it's Bigfoot, and run. They're like, hey, come on now, You have to be very open-minded, because they are going to stand and they're going to meet with us. It's going to happen. You got to be ready for this. We're the world. We're ready. We can do this. It's all thinking positive. I know that a lot of things have happened. Every one of us. That's what the story was to tell you. How can I have hope after all that? Well, it's there. It's in your heart. And see, that's the best part. Religion, if you go that way, Jesus is telling you is in your heart. Go in your heart. Go in that light. Sit in that little light and just sit there and say, when you're going to talk to me, you'll see he'll send you out, and you'll be open-minded, and that he loves everyone, and God made a whole galaxy. And the way I look at it is we're a giant mirror, and we just were shattered across the whole world. And he said, as long as we're theirs and his, nothing can happen to us. You die every night when you go to sleep and we wake up. We think because we were told at 50 we're supposed to die. It's not supposed to happen that way. And this year we're going to find out we're God's light, and we're the light of the heavens, and that we're so powerful. The whole heavens was dancing because we were realizing that not evil is going to win. We're going to pull it back. We're going to control it. We're not going to let it hurt our people anymore. And it's not going to be. They're going to be ashamed of what they've done. And we're going to just tell every one of them, hey, we don't want your politics. We want to decide who's going to be there, because we're going to show them that we can control this. We don't want some liar. We've been paying millions of dollars. And what's funny is we get rid of one person in Congress. That's $1 million a year we can hand to somebody that would pay. And all this abundance of money would come to all of us. And we're paying somebody that's not doing none of their stuff they're supposed to be doing, and lying and keeping all this stuff from us. And when the more we find out, the more you're going to get angry. Don't get angry.
Right. That's right. Everybody's got to get angry in its own sense to get ahead of the ball game. Real angry sometimes, because we got to demand this life we have right now. Chalice, hey, thanks a lot for calling in. Merry Christmas. We'll be getting back to you.
Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Goodbye.
Merry Christmas. We'll be getting back to Chalice. Don't you worry, people, because she's a wealth of knowledge. This is a Third Phase Moon extended as best as I possibly could. I'm being forced to shut this down. I gotta shut it down. So, you know what, everybody, we're gonna be back next week, Friday, same time, 11 p.m. if you're in New York, and 8 p.m. Los Angeles time every Friday. We're here at Third Phase Moon taking calls from around the world in regards to the UFO phenomenon, and stay tuned to Third Phase Moon YouTube, because that's a place to check in for the latest updates in regards to the UFO phenomenon.
happening right now. Blake Cousins, this is Third Phase of Moon signing out. Merry Christmas, everybody.